As the world is changing, as digital is changing, and obviously with the invention of the internet and specifically Google, I mean 99% of their revenue comes from AdWords and AdSense, their search products, sponsored results. And why is it so effective for businesses? Why can Facebook be effective for businesses? I think it's because you're reaching in-market people. You're reaching people that are searching for you. You're not saying, hey, here's my brand, here's this. You're not spamming people. You're being there so when they need you, they come. So, and I think, and that's the thing. Should you just be there? Should you just, cross the box and have a profile? I guess it's really a personal choice. How involved should I go? And that kind of leads to the next thing. So, Andy, for how much time do you spend on a daily basis, you think, working with your social media activities? Couple hours. But you enjoy it, you said.
I love it. It's become my job, and for good or bad, I'm in a position where I can do it, and it's so dynamic. And as I'm probably like so many other people out there. There's this. I called them Legos this morning or last night. It's like you have a bunch of Legos on a table with all of these things you can.
You can do, right?
And you just want to make this robot, right? So I'm slowly clicking the pieces together, and
now, if you didn't have, let's say you had to carve out time.
That's what I was going to say. 15 minutes
to devote to your social media marketing. How much right now would you be willing to give at the expense of some other activity?
Sure.
Because not everybody's in a position to say, okay, I'll give my
couple
2
hours.
hours.
Exactly.
I can answer that
question.
with something. There's a guy in our industry that I'm certain you've heard of, Shane Decker. He's this. He's kind of like the Elvis of the consulting business and sales training.
The black suit Elvis, or the Vegas Elvis?
No, he's actually early Elvis.
Okay,
good. In stature. First of all, this kind of gets off the subject, but we have to have a job description as owners. And one of our job descriptions, and we have to make sure the business is financially sound. That's our job, right? And the other thing is we are the entrepreneurs there. So every day you should carve out 1 hour for entrepreneurial time. It's creative time. So if that's what, I would use that. If I was in a position where I didn't have the freedom I have, I would take that 1 hour of my entrepreneurial time and I would put it into this social networking thing, and mostly figure out how am I going to take it from my business and use it as a tool. It's not to replace it.
Sure.
I think it's so mystical. It's like, wait, I have all this jewelry to sell here. I'm supposed to be selling jewelry. I can't be diddling around on social networking.
Right.
I think you have to sort of make that connection that maybe you won't sell a ring today because you put out a blog.
Because you have to think longer term.
Yeah.
Right.
But if it becomes a part of your operations, and as my job is to be entrepreneur and create, that hour, you'll find that hour.
I think it's the whole thing of.
It's kind of. I think it's a really important thing. I don't think it's going away anytime soon. I sure wouldn't want to be a year down the road going, all right, I guess I got to do this Facebook thing.
Sure.
Because then it's going to feel like pressure.
Right. And you'll be late. People already have.
The other side is that something's going to replace Facebook.
Sure.
At some point, and so you'll already kind of understand the rules in a way. You may have to use a different tool, but you'll understand the basics of connecting and building relationships and stuff, and you can just adopt another platform if you decide that one's more valuable.
Here's a real world example. I hope you don't mind. I'm going to throw this out of how it's integrated in our store. And it made me think of this because we do a lot, I think your store does the same thing. We do a lot of calling to our customers. We don't call it cold calling because it's not. It's relevant. And I'll just give an example. If someone buys a ring on this date, 6 months later, we call them to invite them in to have it cleaned. Okay? It's a free service. Give them a Coke. Talk to them again. Remember.
So you're providing a value with the call.
Yeah. Yeah, there's actual value there, and by the same token, we want a nice connection with our customers, right? You're going to have other events. We want to be the guy. There's no secret about that.
How many people take you up on it? Is it a high percentage?
God, huge.
Really?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Plus, if they're in the
not
store, I mean,
threatening.
they may be likely to say, "Oh, actually, I need a bracelet. I need."
That's always an option, and then it's not like we're going to all of a sudden put the hard sell on them.
Right.
No.
But if
You know,
nothing
we'll
else,
put it in
you're
a
front
wish
of
list.
mind.
We got it. We
Yes.
got it. The main purpose of this was to get your jewelry clean to make sure it's great, because we have a lifetime guarantee, and we want to fix it if it's busted, right?
Sure.
We don't want problems. We want to be
Right.
there as a good resource. So early on, it was like, well, here's the staff. How are we going to find time to do that? We don't have. I mean, I'm too busy doing stuff. And the fact of the matter is, it becomes a part of your operations or a part of your system, and you do it. And it's really hard at first.
Right.
But now we're looking back a year later, because we've been doing it solid for about a year. There's no thought. It takes minutes to do this stuff. It's nothing. It's not even and before it was such a big issue. So working in social media into your daily operations just needs to become a habit.
Right.
One that you see.
How I think
as
habits
value.
take a few weeks to 3 weeks to form. So.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think any
And-
change. I mean, that's why there's change consultants. That's why they have jobs, because implementing change, doing something new, isn't
Always
easy.
hard.
And I think it's really easy to, we build a lot of different websites. So I'm constantly talking to different business owners in different industries, and the common trend is basically they work in the business, not on the business. They're reactive. They're doing what they need to do to run their business, and that's not always effective. Like you said, hour a day, a couple hours a day. Focus on the business, not in the business.
Right.
And I think, like you said, I mean, social media, that's one of those things that, hey, it's on the business. You're building that platform.
And don't you think down the road, I think one of the benefits of this is, let's go back to your review thing or the feedback thing. What made me think of it is, we just got a review on where to get engaged from one of our customers. And she said in there, we love them. They call us to have our jewelry cleaned, and it's amazing, because now she has
She's your
just delivered.
evangelist.
She's just delivered what I would normally tell people for me to someone I may never even met.
Exactly.
And that becomes
And it's
a
so much
really
more
nice
authentic
tool.
coming
It's
from
great.
her
Yeah.
than the owner.
Yeah,
Right?
it's really great.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, we're going to create some of those discussions out there that we don't even know about.
Right.
Talk about measuring. Well, I don't know yet. What are people saying right now?
Sure.
After this, they'll say, "Wow, he's such."
Well,
a
if you speak about like measuring, a lot of the social media stuff, I think it's longer term.
Right.
There's not a direct response typically, unless you're running something, unless you're sticking on your wall. If you get here by 5, I'll give you
Yes.
X. It's not really a direct response, but something like Twitter, I guess, could be more direct response. But I'm assuming neither of you are you guys doing anything with Twitter or?
Working on it.
The business is, but I personally am not.
It's
Because like I was in San Francisco, and there's a bakery that they send a truck out, and
Right.
every day they tweet what the route is
Koehn-
going to be to all their followers, and
Yeah, Koehn
How cool.
is a Korean barbecue, and
they've
they
got
have the
tons
same
of
thing.
followers.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
And
they've
they
gotten
sell out
all
what
kinds
they
of
send
press
out.
because they have one of those
Right.
vans, and it's an amazing. And I even know, I mean, even in just like I have a friend that's a chiropractor, and he got involved with Twitter, got a great name, started writing about, during the day, his patients, what he was thinking about, industry articles, and, did he instantly get, 10 more appointments that month? Probably not, but what he did get is as he built that platform, suddenly he became a source for the press. Suddenly he was, starts to be quoted in magazines because, in a lot of ways, perception is reality.
Sure.
And you have to be authentic, you have to build an authentic story. But if people perceive you a certain way, I think, it's not just about reaching customers. It's also putting yourself out there and saying, hey, I'm an expert in this. You're not just saying that, you're backing it up with what you tweet, what you put on your profile, what your reviews say about you, what people are coming and saying about, posting on your wall. People I think can relatively quickly see if somebody is a real or fake person or business or whatever it is.